pick and choose exactly what we want to pull from spring and fall camp and kind of just utilize it. The guys are very, very familiar with it already. You know, the guys on the back end, they're able to play multiple positions, you know, and so I think that gives us position flex a little bit, you know, if a guy gets dinged up a little. But that's just a testament to our kids. That's a testament to our D coordinator and Coach Walters. That's a testament to our defensive staff, you know, and having really, really, really good ideas to put guys in a position to have success, you know. And but this has all been stuff that we've practiced throughout the course of spring ball and fall camp.
And finally, last two final drives, the last couple ball games. To borrow a baseball analogy, it's like gave up a one-run lead in the ninth inning. We've seen time and time again offenses somehow come to life with a 2-minute offense. What's the key for that secondary, especially, to shut that down?
I think the key, to be honest with you, is, you know, you talk about situational football, you talk about those pressure moments. I think the last 2 weeks defensively, I think guys naturally, right, anytime, like throughout the course of the game is technically not on the line, right? Because there are going to be plays to come after that. But anytime you say this is the last possession, whoever scores or doesn't score wins, there's a little more pressure there, right? And so sometimes guys can just play tentative, you know, and I think we got to just continue to beat into our guys' heads, like, we want you to still be aggressive. We want you to still have that mindset, and we want you to treat it as if this is early in the first quarter. Because I felt like if guys mentally would treat it that way, I think we'll be on a completely opposite end of this thing. But, you know, it's part of growing pains as well. You know, like throughout the course of these young men's careers here, I don't know if they've been in I don't know if they've been in this many close games during this time of the season. You know what I'm saying? The games have either been blowouts, one way or another. And so, it's learning for us, right? And it's tough, and you don't want to be a part of it. But this is part of football. This is part of the growing pains in football, you know. And defensively, we got to do what it takes to get off the field and go and win the game, you know.
Aaron Henry on the Coach's Corner. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
A little bit different offense this week with a dual threat quarterback and a running game. What's different in your preparation on the back end?
Nothing's different in our preparation. Thank you, brother. Nothing's different in our preparation. I think we got to still have the same mentality. You know, probably a little more emphasis on trying to take the ball away. You know, but in terms of the way we prepared, in terms of the things that we're telling our guys week in and week out, and we got to treat this like a Big Ten game. We got to treat Charlotte like we're playing Wisconsin or Penn State. You know what I'm saying? It can't be a mentality switch in terms of trying to prepare. This team is talented, dude. They're really good. Obviously, they beat Duke early in the season, but they got a phenomenal quarterback. They got some dudes on the outside. They got a running back that runs the ball downhill. One cut, he can make you miss. And so we got to treat this like a Big Ten game and go out and lay it all on the line, man.
I'm interested to hear you talk about the young guys that heading into the season. It was kind of a question, but some of your best players have turned out to be sophomores and freshmen or redshirt freshmen.
I think part of it is, you know, with experience and with playing time, guys become better at their job, or you hope that they become better at their job. You know, and I think with teaching them and coaching them the right way, I'm trying to put them in the pressure cooker a little bit on game day, but even before that, doing it during practice, right? Putting them in like every practice, every drill, every rep is a competition, all right? And I told my guys this morning, I love every last one of you, all right? But this profession is results and performance-based, right? Like, let's just cut it dry, right? It's results and performance-based. So whoever's performing well, all right, and who's ever providing the best results, those are the guys who are going to play. And last week, it happened to be some younger guys. The week before, Taz got his first start, right? Awesome for him. You know what I'm saying? This past week, TA stepped up. You know what I'm saying? He did some good things. And so the reality of it is like every week, this ain't the NFL to where I'm paying you $20 million and you're my starter for the season. No, my brother, right? Every week, you got to earn it. Every week, you got to go and get it. And so I think when you put it like that to guys want to, our kids are natural pleasers. They want to do the best. They want to have success. And I think it's my job as a coach, and it's our job as coaches, to put them in the best position to have success. You know what I'm saying? And so I think with our defensive scheme, we've done that.
You mentioned when Scott asked you about, you know, getting those stops late in the game and getting them to have the same mentality in the first quarter as they do the fourth quarter. As a former player, is there maybe more of a sense of urgency at the beginning of the game or at the end of the game when you need that last stop as a defensive back?
I think naturally, right? Naturally, you are going to look at the clock. you know, and you're going to see there's a minute 30 left, right, and we're starting a defensive possession, right? And so I do think that there has to be a mentality switch to a degree. I still think you can be aggressive. I still think our guys need to be aggressive, but I still think they need to understand what's the situation. Because now we can't play this situation like we would play the first quarter situation. And that doesn't mean don't be aggressive. That just means that now, right, now with some of the play calls that we're making, right, now with just some of the techniques that we're playing, our eyes have to be on point. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't be in man-to-man coverage and let the ball get thrown over our head. You know what I mean? So it's just some small things. And, you know, fortunately enough, as much as you like to talk about it in the meeting room, like, that's awesome, but there's nothing like that experience on the field. And unfortunately, right, it's come to us losing games, right? Like, that's the tough part about it. And it's sickening as a coach, but, I mean, I feel for these kids as well, man. Like, they put in so much work, and, you know, to not see the fruits of their labor, like come to life, like I hurt for them. But, like, we're freaking so close, man. And it's like anytime you're in, that's how you know you got a good team. Like these games are really, really, really close, and we're knocking on the door. And eventually we got to kick it down, obviously. But when you're able to show them in the meeting room, listen, if we just do this right, maybe that's an interception. If we do that right, maybe it's a takeaway. Like, you're talking about literally changing the game. You know what I'm saying? And so we got to keep pushing along, right? I mean, we still got, I think, 7 games left, however many we have left. And so we still got a decent amount of the season left, man. And these kids are hungry. They were responsive. It wasn't no woe is me on Sunday, which I love. These kids came in here rejuvenated. Obviously, they don't like losing, just like we don't like losing. But, I mean, I've been a part of teams, they lose games, and guys act like the season's over. I mean, these kids, they want it just as bad as anybody else.
So how do you find that balance between being too aggressive and also still kind of understanding the situation?
I think part of it, you have to preach it in practice. And I think the other part is experience. I think more experience, like I said, experience is the best teacher, right? You know, Taz hasn't played that much football, you know, and he had a deep ball on the sideline caught on him. Like, we were in the perfect call, right? The perfect call. He was a deep third player, and the ball was right there, and he felt like the dude was away from him, so he speed turned, and he lost the guy, which he didn't have to speed turn, but if he just turns back into the man, you know what I'm saying, and go up and at least contest the ball, because I think he lost track of when he turned his back, and maybe a different ball game instead of a gain of 19, right? That's a PBU, and now they're running a different play on third down. And so, like it's hard for me to replicate those moments in practice, but I can show them to him, unfortunately, once the game's over, you know, and he's learned from that. I hope he's learned from that, you know, and hopefully we can be better next time we put in those situations.
You talked about guys being professionals, basically.
Absolutely.
And Tony's been that.
Mm-hmm.
So for him to take it on the chin, come back, start this week, get an interception, make a play, just him. I feel like he does get enough credit, but just being a professional.
You do, like, you gotta appreciate that and respect that so much, just as a coach, from a coaching standpoint, because it's nothing personal, right? Like, but these kids don't understand that. Like you're their coach. Right, you're their coach, and so anytime they're not playing, right, they can take it. Kids can take it as the coach don't like me, and they only take it like that when you don't have a relationship with them. You know, if me and Tony didn't have that kind of relationship, coach don't like me, coach screwing me, but we do. Me and Tony got a really tight relationship, and it's nothing personal. And that was the way I had. You got to find different motivating factors for each kid. Taz is a lot different than Tony. Spoon's a lot different than Taz and Tony, right? Kendall's a lot different than all of them. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I think as a coach, each kid is going to have trigger points, right? And every kid's not going to handle it like TA's handling it. TA's a senior, TA's a captain on top of that, right? Every kid ain't going to handle it like that. Some kids going to explode, blow up, and lose their mind. But the relationship factor has to come into play whenever you're dealing with those moments. And it ain't going to always be great. Like, I think as a coach, you have to love conflict, especially conflict with your players, because that's where growth is going to occur. Like, you can't be afraid to, like, hide and run from things. Like, that's just the reality. I love conflict in my room. I love it. I love it. Because why? It's going to be conflict on game day. It's going to be conflict whenever you're walking to class and somebody screams out, "You guys suck," right? It's going to be conflict for these kids whenever they're walking around. It's going to be life is there's conflict in life, right? And how you respond to it is going to be the ultimate test of how you're going to get over that hump. Now, Tony did his thing, man. Awesome. I'm glad he made some plays. I think it's great for his confidence, right? But that was just that week. Can he do it again? Right? Like that's been the reoccurring theme. Man, anybody can have a great game. Can you do it a second week? Can you do it a third week? Can we play well defensively again? Right? Like the goal is to win, man. Like I ain't in it for no second place. I ain't in it for, hey man, you guys almost did it. Forget that, man. I want to win, man. I want to win. We spend a lot of time up here, a lot of time investing in these guys to win games. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want nobody to get that twisted. They're doing a great. Forget that. We want to win.
And then what went into the decision to start Kendall and give him that opportunity?
Part of it was I got a rule in my meeting room. We have a rule on our team, right? And when those rules aren't followed, just a maturity thing, when those rules aren't followed, we got to take action, right? Because these young men, they're closer to high school than they are the pros. And so anytime you show up late for something, you're not on time for something, you're doing something wrong, right? The first thing I ask as a coach is, can I trust you? Because if I can't trust you just to do the bare necessity to get yourself in a position to play, right, I dang sure can't trust you on game day, right? And so I say all that to say he didn't follow some rules, right? And we had to take action as coaches. As much as it hurt us sometimes, I think those are the best things to do. Listen, man, any high school player, any college player that plays for me, going to play for me in the future, if you are not on time for something, if you miss something, there will be consequences. That is our rule. That's not just Coach Henry. There are going to be consequences. And so got to hold these young men accountable. You know what I'm saying? Got to, like you say you want to start, you want to be the guy, your actions going to tell me a lot more than what you say.
So just to clarify, you said Kendall started.
Kendall started.
So you referring to Taz or?
Absolutely.
Okay, just making sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Kendall started. Taz didn't handle his business as a student athlete, and so there were some action that we had to take place. Taz has grown from that experience, right? Obviously he didn't do nothing life-threatening or nothing, but it's just like minor things, right? And I think when you're talking about establishing a culture, if you don't nip those things in the bud now, like I got a room of 3 freshman corners. They see those older guys, they see them getting away with stuff. You can imagine next year, we can do this and Coach Henry gonna be cool. No, sir. We're gonna handle this right now. You know what I'm saying? And so don't care who likes it, who don't like it. That's how I get down, man. And I think at the end of the day, I think you build some rapport with your players. I think players realize, okay, he's not playing around. Because I don't care who gets the credit. I just want guys, when they're out there, I want them to be prepared, and I want to be ready, and I want to go with guys who gives us the best chance to win, and guys who we can trust. Trust.
Fans have been asking a little bit about Daniel Edwards. What have you seen from him in practice? And maybe more importantly, what have you seen in the weight room from him?
Yeah.
Is he putting on a little bit of weight?
I'm trying to feed him every day, man. We're trying to feed him every day. Daniel Edwards is a talent, man. He's a really, really good player. I wish he was a little bigger. Just height-wise, he's great. I wish he had a little more meat on his bones, but that's why that's why this is a developmental program. You know what I'm saying? But just from a talent perspective, he may be one of the best corners I've had the opportunity to coach coming in just from a strict talent level. Like he has it. He's just, as a coach, when you see a guy like that with the foot speed and the skill set, I also have to do my job and make sure I protect them because this is the Big Ten Conference. Our corners are asked to be in run fits, and they're asked to tackle, and this ain't 7-on-7. And so Daniel's been doing a good job in developing every single week, and he's kind of handling the food that I do put on his plate in terms of the plays that we give him and opportunities that we give him, and I'm just excited to continue to see his growth.